Welcome to the Guitar Resource Podcast, practice topics for the beginning and intermediate guitarist.
Hello, and welcome to this episode. Today we're going to talk about the D chord, and we will get specific with some of the note names and some of the roles that each of the notes play. And we'll talk a little bit about some keys you might find this chord in. Okay, so the D chord, if you haven't played this before, this is first finger on the third string, second fret. Second finger on the first string, second fret. And third finger on the second string, third fret. And we have fourth string open. And so we strum like that. Just 4 strings. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about a couple of key areas we might find this in. So we have the key of D, and this would be the 1 chord. And if you don't understand what all this means, don't worry about it too much right now. You might try to memorize this, but we'll talk about this a little bit more in future episodes. So it can also be the 4 chord in the key of A. Okay, so the key of A, D is the 4 chord. And in the key of G, D is the 5 chord. Okay, so let's talk about D and see what these note names are. So with 4 string open is D. Third string, second fret is A. We have D again on the second string, third fret. And then we have F sharp on the first string. Okay, so let's talk about solfege a little bit. So if we were to play a scale, so we recognize this as a major scale. We can call this Do, second fret on the 4th string, Re. Mi is 4th fret on the 4th string. Fa, 3rd string open. Sol, and then on the 2nd fret there, 2nd string open. La, and then 2nd fret, 2nd string, that's T, and then Do. And so then the notes that we have here would follow like this. We would have D, 4th string open, as Do, Sol, Do, Mi. Okay, so that is one thing that you can try, and then to go an octave above this D, you can just think this is Do, Re, Mi again. Now, it's really useful with chords to think in terms of numbers. So let's try the scale out using numbers, and with the exception of the root, which we'll call root. Okay. So root, 4th string open, 2 is 2nd fret, 3, that's 4th fret. Moving on to the 3rd string, we have 4, and then 2nd fret, 5, and then 6, 2nd string open, 7, and then the root. So then when we think about this chord, we could think about this as the root, 3rd string, 5th, 2nd string is the root again, and then the 3 on the 1st string. So when you see a chord symbol or someone asks you to play a chord D, you would play this, and it's assumed that you have the root fifth and the third. So if you are asked to play, let's say, D sus4, then you would kind of know. You would take the 4. So we would say D is our root, first string open is 2, second fret is 3, and then that G there, third fret is 4. Okay. And then we're back. Let's try to take that fourth finger off now. So I had the fourth finger on the first string, third fret. Now I'm taking it off, and I'm back to D. Let's try the sus2. So what I've done is I've taken this second finger off the string, and I've got the first string open. Okay. So that gives us the 2, right? Because we have root 2. Okay. And the sus, since we have replaced the third, we will call it sus2. Replacing the 3 with a 4, we have sus4. So those are some common chords that you might come across there. Another way to play D is to think about it like this. The first finger barring strings 3 and 1 on the second fret, and then second finger on the second string, third fret. Okay, so we have the same chord there. And then you could put this note up here. So what note would that be? That would be root 2, 3, 4, 5. Now one thing to watch out for there is that we've now lost our 3, which we could replace down here. Which you don't have to do this, and this might be a little difficult, I'm not sure, but we have third finger on the fourth string, fourth fret. Okay, so let's back up to the D chord there and talk about that a little bit more. So we have the root, fifth, root, and third. And you can make some changes to it. Another one you can try is getting the 6. And that would work a little better with the bar form, the first string, or first finger on the strings 3 and 1, and then kind of maybe adding that fourth fret on the third string with the third finger. Okay, so something like that. Well, great. I hope this clears up a little bit of the D chord and getting a little more specific with that. I have created a page on the website that shows these chord shapes, and when you hover or click on them, it reveals the numerical name for each note. So you might check that out. Well, thanks again for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you have any questions. Sure to check out our YouTube channel and the Facebook page and the Twitter page to keep up with what we're doing here. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also available for Skype lessons if you need individual help. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you have a great week of practice.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Guitar Resource podcast. Be sure to rate and subscribe. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.